everyone, it's Jaden, and I am back with another episode of Doki Literature Club. I really hope you're enjoying it so far. Anyways, let's get into the next. Let's get into the next thing. Okay. Well, now that everyone's ready, why don't you find someone to sail with? I can't wait! Sayori, and Monica enthusively pull out their poems. Sayori's is on a wrinkled sheet of loose leaf torn from a spiral notebook. On the other hand, Monica wrote her in a composition's notebook. I can already see Monica's pristine handwriting from where I sit. Naski and Yuri electrically comply as well, reaching into their bags. I did the same myself. And we're just gonna go down the list here. So we're gonna start by selling our poem to Sayori, then Naski, then Yuri, and finally Monica. What do you want? Hang on, I have a kitty baby that wants to get out. Give me a sec. The cat is now joining the video. Anyways. So we're gonna make Sayori. I'm definitely most comfortable staring at what Sayori first. She's my good friend after all. Cough. This is a good poem, Jaden. Are you sure it's your first time? Of course. It's not that good. Am I the kind of guy who would be writing poems in his spare time? I guess you're right. But that's why you impressed me. Well, to be honest, I was afraid that you wouldn't do it seriously. Or that you wouldn't write one at all. I'm really happy just that you wrote one. It just reminds me of how you're really a part of the club now. Not to mention the fact that I'm standing in front of you in the club room. Well, of course. I mean, I'm not really into it yet, but that doesn't mean I'll break my promise. See, it's like I said before, Jaden. Deep down, you're not selfish at all, you know? Trying new things like this for other people, that's something that only really good people do. Thanks, Sayori. I'm not sure if Sayori sees the full picture of my motive here. Then again, Macy, where are you going? I can't deny she's part of the reason I joined. Knowing how much this means to her and all. Yeah, and I'm gonna make sure you have lots of fun here, okay? Mushu, where are you going? No, stay with us. Stay with us, Mushu. Oh. Okay, I have to let the cat out now. Right, the cat is out, so. The cat is out, so let's get back on with our thing here. And I'm gonna make sure you have lots of fun here, okay? That will be my way of thanking you. Alright, I'm going to hold you to that then. Yay! Now, you read my poem too, right? Don't worry, I'm really bad at this. We'll see about that. So I'm not really gonna read it because, well, my voice is awful, but if you want, you can pause it here and read it really quick. Sayori, this is just a guess, but did you wait until this morning to write this? No, just a little bit. You can't answer just a little bit to a yes or no question. I forgot to do it last night. Well, at least that makes me feel a little better about myself. Don't be mean. I still tried my best. Oh, yeah. I didn't mean to say that was a bad poem. It came out nice, or how should I put it? It sounds just like you. Really? Yeah. Especially that last line. I made eggs and toast. Even though you were late to school. It's bad to skip breakfast. I get all cranky. Well, I guess there's no point in arguing. Anyway, thanks for showing me. This was so much fun. Monica's the best. Yeah. But next time I won't forget. And I'm gonna write the best poem ever. Well, I guess I look forward to it. So I'm going for Naski next. This was really funny. Sorry. I'm really thirsty right now and I don't want water. Even though I have water, fuck off. I don't want you. I want Dr. Pepper. Okay, well let's start with the things I don't like. First of all, Natsuki rereads my poem. Never mind, I don't feel like giving you my opinion. Then what's the point of staring in the first place? I wrote this when I could have been doing other things. In fact, remember how I said I wanted to read your poems? That's what I had in mind when writing this. I want to help you feel comfortable enough to share yours. Like Monica said. Well, I would be more comfortable sharing my poem if yours was really bad. You were supposed to show me some dumb poem and make me go, huh, well, it's not that great, but let me show you what real literature looks like. And you went and ruined it. I hope you're happy. So in other words, you're saying you liked it. Natsuki retort gets caught in her throat. You don't understand anything, do you? I already told you that you don't have to go announcing it to the world like you're all self-important. Pretty sure you never actually said that. I say that mostly to myself. Natsuki must really hate me or something. I can't figure out if it's a win or a loss that she liked my poem. In any case, you still need to show me yours, right? Fine, I guess. Only because Monica won't make me if I don't. So, once again, so what I really like is how the music changes to fit them. Like Natsuki, she's small and has like this playful attitude. This music is pretty much like a more playful version of the actual Doki literature theme. And you can see he has a very playful poem here, one that would be easy for kids to read, but as you can see when you get to those last two lines, it has a bit of a dark side to it. Yeah, I told you that you weren't gonna like it. I like it. What? Just be honest. I am. Why are you so convinced that I wouldn't like it? Well, because everyone in high school thinks that writing has to be all sophisticated and stuff. So people don't even take my writing seriously. But isn't the point of poems for people to express themselves? Your writing style wouldn't make your message any less valid. Yes, exactly! I like when it's easy to read, but it hits you hard. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, a lot of my friends that write poems, they somehow manage to do all this like philosophical stuff, I guess. I don't know, I have no idea. And my poems they're kind of simple. And while they aren't exactly in a cutesy style, it's a very clear thing. I do have really dark poems right though, so I won't probably mention them or anything in this video. But, okay, so if this video gets to 10 likes, then I will go ahead and do some speed paint videos with my poems, mainly the less dark ones. I do have a few that I'll basically just do speed paint, just showing what the words to the poem beside it. I do have some short poems and there are some that are a little too long. But yeah. But for that to happen, this video has to get to 10 likes. I'm sticking everyone to that, so if you want to see those poems speed paints, then like this video. Like in this poem, seeing everyone around you do great things can be really disheartening. So I decided to write about it. Yeah, I understand. But the other nice thing about simple writing is that it puts more weight on the wordplay. Like, I set it for a rhyme at the end, but then made it fall flat on purpose. It helped bring out the feeling in the last line. So you did. I guess more went into it than I realized. That's what it means to be a pro. Oh, I have some alarm things for school even though school is out right now. I'm glad you learned something. Didn't expect that from the youngest one here, did you? Yeah, guess not. I decided to humor her with that last comment. I don't really care how old everyone is, but if Natsuki is feeling proud, then I won't take that away from her. Good, Jaden. And then we have Yuri. Yuri stares at the poem. A minute passes. More than enough time for her to finish reading. Oh! Sorry. I forgot to start speaking. It's fine. Don't force yourself. I'm not. I just need to put my thoughts into words. Hold on. Okay. This is your first time writing a poem, right? I'm gonna turn the music down just a little bit, just in case it's hard for me here. Yeah? Why do you ask? I'm just making sure. I guess that it might be after reading through it. So it's that bad. No! Did I just raise my voice? Oh, I'm so sorry. Yuri buries her face in her hands. I couldn't help but notice that it's been several minutes and we really haven't gotten anywhere. It might take Yuri a while to get used to new people. It's fine. I really didn't notice. What were you saying? Right, it's just that there are specific writing habits that are usually typical of new writers. And having been freed up myself, I kinda want to pick up on them. I think the most notable thing I recognize in new writers is that they try to make their style very deliberate. In other words, they tend to pick a writing style separate from the topic matter, and they form-fit the two together. The end result is that both the style and the expressiveness are weakened. Once Yuri finds her train of thought, it's as if her demeanor totally changes. Her stammering is completely gone, and she sounds like an expert. Of course, that's not something you can be blamed for. There are so many different skills and techniques that go into writing even a simple poem. Not just finding them and building them, but getting them to work together is probably the most challenging part. It might take you some time, but it all comes with practice, and learning by example and trying new things. I also hope that everyone else in the club gives you valuable feedback. Natsuki can be a little bit biased, though. Biased? How? Well, never mind. I shouldn't be talking about people like that. Sorry. It's fine. I'm not sure if Yuri is apologizing to herself, to me, or to Natsuki. Do you mind if I read your poem now? Please do. I'd love to share my thought process behind it. Yuri smiles dreamily, as if that's a rare opportunity for her, which itself is kind of funny. After all, isn't this supposed to be a literature club? Okay, so to anyone who can read this, because he has like that beautifully, I like this kind of. See, like I said about the music thing, this one becomes kind of more fantastical. You know, like maybe something you would hear, in a fantasy world in a scene where there are woodland creatures playing in a meadow. Yeah, that's what I really like about this game. I'm sorry if I have such terrible handwriting. What? I wasn't thinking that at all. But it took you a long time to read. Well, I just don't read script very often. I actually think your handwriting is pretty. That's a relief. Also, I like the poem. Even though it's short, it was really descriptive. It wasn't too short? I usually write longer poems. Not at all. I'm really glad you liked it. I'll be honest. This is our first time sharing. I wanted to write something a little more mild. Something easy to digest, I suppose. Are you into ghost theory? Actually, the story isn't about a ghost at all, Jaden. Really? I must have totally missed the point. Well, I suppose you did only glance over it after all. But remember that poets often express their own thoughts, feelings, and experiences in their work. They usually do more than tell a simple story or paint a picture. In this case, perhaps the subject of the poem is only being symbolically compared to a ghost, lingering in her last remaining place of comfort, unable to let go of the past, and soon to be left with nothing. That's a lot more solemn, putting it that way. I hadn't even thought of that. That's impressive. It's nothing, really. Well, it makes me happy that you think that. Just remember. Well, I'm really happy that you think that. Just remember that it won't be long before you pick up on these things too. Yeah, maybe you're right. I guess I'll have to keep trying. I'm counting on you. And then finally, we have Monica. Hi, Jaden. Having a good time so far? Yeah. Good, glad to hear it. By the way, since you're new and everything, if you ever have any suggestions for the club, like new activities or things we can do better, I'm always listening. Don't be afraid to bring things up, okay? Alright, I'll keep that in mind. I just realized Monica's eyes are like that one gem, corrupted gem from Steven Universe. I don't know, but it's like the one, Centipedal. That's what the corrupted gem name for it was. That's what her eyes remind me of. Alright, I'll keep that in mind. Of course, I'll be afraid to bring things up. Much better off just going with the flow until I'm more settled in. Anyway, want to share your poem with me? It's kind of embarrassing, but I guess I have to. Don't worry, Jaden. We're all a little embarrassed today, you know. But it's that sort of barriers that we'll all learn to get past soon. Yeah, that's true. I hand Monica my poem. I like it, Jaden. Really? It's a lot cuter than I expected. Oh, jeez. No. It kind of makes me think of something Natsuki would write. And she's a good writer, too. So take that as a compliment. Uh-huh. If you say so. Yep. By any chance, have you read anything by Sal Silverstein? Maybe a long time ago? He's famous for telling all kinds of stories in just a few simple words. His poems can be funny, endearing, or even sad, and sometimes they're only a few lines long. They might even feel like they're written for kids, but if you think about them, they can express views of the world that would apply to anybody. I see. So you're saying that Natsuki is kind of like that? Sort of. Maybe she's not an expert, but you probably won't find much fill in her poems. They might be easy to write, but they're super challenging to get the meaning through. So I can see why it would be your kind of poem to explore. I'm sure I'll end up trying different things a lot. It could take a while before I feel comfortable doing this. That's okay. I'd love to see you try new things. That's the best way to find the kind of style that suits you. Everyone else might be a little bit biased towards their own kinds of styles, but I'll always help you find what suits you the most. So don't force yourself to write the way everyone else wants you to write. It's not like you have to worry about impressing them or anything. Anyway, do you want to read my poem now? Don't worry, I'm not very good. You sound pretty confident for someone who claims to not be very good. Well, that's because I have to sound confident. That doesn't mean I always feel that way, you know. I see. Well, let's read it then. Here, I'm slowly... See, this one's a bit softer. It's like... This one, you know, Monica sees the leader. And she's also caring. That's kind of the sense that this music is giving me. And oh my, the music in this, it just so perfectly matches up with the characters. Anyways, I'm gonna scroll through that now. Alright. I'll go ahead and just leave it there. So, what do you think? It's very freeform, if that's what you call it. Sorry, I'm not really the right person to ask for feedback. It's okay. Yeah, that kind of style has gotten pretty popular nowadays. That is, a lot of poems have been putting emphasis on the timing between words and lines. When performed out loud, it can be really powerful. What was the inspiration behind this one? Well, I'm not sure if I know how to put it. I guess you could say that I had some kind of epiphany lately. It's been influencing my poems a bit. An epiphany? Yeah, something like that. I'm kinda nervous to talk about deep stuff like that, because it's kinda coming on strongly. Maybe after everyone is better friends with each other. Anyway, here's Monica's writing tip of the day. Sometimes when you're writing a poem or a story, your brain gets too fixated on a specific point. If you try so hard to make it perfect, then you will never make any progress. Just force yourself to get something out on the paper and tidy up later. Another way to think about it is this. If you keep your pen in the same spot for too long, you'll just get a big dark puddle of ink. So just move your hand and go with the flow. That's my advice for today. Thanks for listening. Sounds like something a podcast person would do. Phew. I guess that's everyone. I got to run the room. That was a little more stressful than I anticipated. It's as if everyone is judging me for my mediocre writing abilities. Even if they're just being nice, there's no way my poems can stand up to theirs. This is a literature club after all. I sigh. I guess that's what I ended up getting myself into. Across the room, Sayuri and Monica are happily chatting. My eyes land on Yuri and Natsuki. They generally exchange sheets of paper, sharing their respective poems. As they read in tandem, I watch each of their expressions change. Natsuki's eyebrows furrow in frustration. Meanwhile, Yuri smiles sadly. What's with this language? Did you say something? Oh, it's nothing. Natsuki dismissively returns the poem to the desk with one hand. I guess you could say it's fancy. Thanks. Yours is cute. Cute? Did you completely miss the symbolism or something? It's query about the feeling of giving up. How can that be cute? I know that. I just meant the language, I guess. I was trying to say something nice. Eh? You mean you have to try that hard to come up with something nice to say? Thanks, but it really didn't come out nice at all. Well, I do have a couple suggestions. Humph. If I was looking for suggestions, I would have asked someone who actually liked it. Which people did, by the way. Sayori liked it, and Jason did too. So, based on that, I'll gladly give you some suggestions of my own. First of all, excuse me, I appreciate the offer, but I've spent a long time establishing my writing style. I don't expect to change anytime soon, unless of course I come across something particularly inspiring. Which I haven't yet. And Jaden liked my poem too, you know. He even told me he was impressed by it. Natsuki suddenly stands up. Oh? I didn't realize you were so invested in trying to impress our new member, Yuri. That's not what I meant. You're just... Yuri stands up as well. Maybe you're just jealous that Jaden appreciates my advice more than he appreciated yours. Huh? And how do you know he didn't appreciate my advice more? Are you that full of yourself? No. If I was full of myself, I would deliberately go out of my way to make everything I do overly cutesy. Is everyone okay? Well, you know what? I wasn't the one whose boobs magically grew a size bigger as soon as Jaden started showing up. Natsuki! Natsuki, that's a little... This doesn't involve you. I don't like fighting, guys. Suddenly, both girls turned towards me, as if they just noticed I was standing there. Jaden, she's trying to make me look bad. That's not true. She started it. Oh. If she could get over herself and learn to appreciate that simple writing is more effective, then this wouldn't have happened in the first place. What's the point in making your poem so convoluted for no reason? The meaning should jump out at the reading, not force them to have to figure it out. Help me explain that to her, Jaden. Wait, there's a reason we have so many deep and expressive words in our language. It's the only way to convey complex feelings and meaning the most effectively. Avoiding them is not only unnecessarily limiting yourself, it's also a waste. You understand that, right, Jaden? Well? How did I get dragged into this in the first place? It's not like I know anything about writing. But whoever I agree with, they'll probably think more highly of me. So of course that's going to be Natsuki, because I love Natsuki. Yuri, you're really talented. Well, but Natsuki has a point. I think that I racked my brain in an attempt to back myself up. I think that conveying feelings with few words can be just as impressive as well. It lets the reader's imagination take over. And Natsuki's poem did a really good job at that. Yeah, it did, didn't it? I need some... Oh, my throat hurts so bad. Alright. Oh. Uh-huh! Shows how much you know. That's not... Natsuki. I think that's enough. Huh? Me? But she was so mean to me. Natsuki's voice lines. Look, what we talked about yesterday was right. Writing is a really personal thing. And sharing it can definitely be hard. It looks like we learned that today. Even small criticism can lead to something pretty heated. I glanced over my shoulder. Sayuri is nodding vigorously. Yeah, so... You don't need to feel threatened. You're a great writer, Natsuki. Natsuki's voice gets caught in surprise. Thanks for noticing. She finally mutters that, barely audible. Yuri? Yuri. Yuri looks at me dejectedly. With a face like that, I can't help but feel bad for her as well. I'm sure that Natsuki didn't mean everything she said. So you don't need to feel threatened either. Well, if you say so. Hey! It's not like you need to apologize for me, Jaden. See. Natsuki takes a breath. The thing about... Natsuki glances around the room. Would everyone stop staring at me? Unsurprisingly, Natsuki has a harder time with it than she boasted. Sayuri and Monica look away. Anyway, the thing about your boobs, I didn't mean it, okay? That's all. Natsuki looks away, avoiding eye contact with everyone. Yeah, you're naturally beautiful, Yuri. Sayuri? I'll go make some tea. I was just trying to help. I'm sure she appreciated Sayuri. I passed Sayuri on the shoulder. Well, now that we're past that, everyone's read each other's poems, right? I hope that it was worthwhile for everyone. Especially you, Jaden. And to be honest, that's a nice change of pace from the lazing around we got a little used to. So my joining the club was responsible for ruining the atmosphere. No, not at all, not at all. There's still time before we go home. So we'll all relax for a bit. Of course, besides chatting, we can do a little several other things in the club room. So maybe you can take the chance the chance to pick up a book or do some writing. After all, that's what the club is for. I disagree, Monica. Huh? About what? That's not the most important thing about the literature club. The most important thing is having fun. Of course. Well, I guess that's why you're the vice president, Sayori. In the end, though, Monica's right. Being in the literature club probably means I can't spend all my time doing nothing. But in the end, I guess it's been worth it so far. And that is where we are going to end this episode for today. So please like and subscribe, and remember, when I hit 25 subscribers, I am going to be opening up a Discord for my YouTube channel, and I'll do some gaming streams there, probably some other stuff to, I'll be pretty much interacting with everyone. And so, I will see you in the next episode. And also remember, if this video gets to 10 likes, I will do some of my poems with speed paints, but remember, they can be kind of dark, and so some topics in my poems might be a little triggering. And I'm pretty sure in the next episode we're gonna have I think in the next episode we're also gonna have some suicide stuff, so just a warning there for anyone who might be triggered by that. If not, then it's probably gonna be the episode after that. Bye!